Reading behavior today. How is our condition about reading interest in Indonesia? It's quite alarming. The condition of reading interest of Indonesia is indeed quite alarming. Based on the study of most literate nation in the world, conducted by Central Connecticut State University in March 2016, Indonesia was ranked out of 61 countries about reading interest. Indonesia is just below Thailand, which ranked 59th, and Botswana, which ranked 61. In fact, in terms of assessment to support reading interest, Indonesia ranking is above European countries. Assessment based on Indonesian infrastructure components are in number 34, above Germany, Portugal, New Zealand, and South Korea, said former Minister of Education and Culture Anies Baswedan. This fact, according to Anies, shows that Indonesia is very minimal in utilizing infrastructure. Why? Why it can be like that? How it can be like that? The next explanation will be explained by Apreilina.
In the second part, I want to tell you about the causes of reading behavior today. The first is living environment. Living environment around us is an important factor in our life because it is indirectly that shapes our habits. For example, is the family. The family is the environment that is closest to us. If the environment in our family does not cultivate the reading habits or even buying enough is not permitted, if it happens, how the reading sets of reading can grow, or moreover, in our friendship environment is also not like reading. After leaving the house, it turns out that our friend who like going to the mall instead reading in the library. Surely we will tend to follow our friend or hang out, go to the mall, then go to the library for reading, right? Number 2 is gadget. Going back to talking about millennials, now all of kind of people are familiar with gadget. Humans' behavior from infancy to adults when eating has changed because it can be separated from gadget. For example, there is a baby or children who cannot eating their food if their cartoon favorite show is not playing in front of them with gadget. And actually, it is not just happen to children or babies, but in teenager or old people too. This happen. They are eating while playing gadget or while playing their gadget. Today's gadgets are multifunctional things for us because we can use to watching television in gadget, can taking photograph or playing game. So with one gadget we can do anything, but also we can forgetting anything too.
Good morning, everyone. So as the speaker, I want to talk to you about effect of reading behavior. And we know maybe we have often heard the sentence that books are a window to the world, because by reading books can know what's happening in the outside world. Reading can also be one of the means to improve the quality oneself of human research, and be impressive about the low reading increase occurs in the younger generation of our homeland. So this is because the responsibility that will be a heavy burden is not optimal because of the reluctant to increase knowledge through reading. So I will explain to you about effect of reading behavior. At the first, men experience problems in understanding, storing, and content and use sentence and technology to produce quality product. The lack of limit insight and knowledge will close the mindset so that they are easily influenced by various doctrines and negative understanding. And the lack of reading will cause one's creativity not to develop. As we know, that the creative mindset will be realized if the person develops a mindset and able to respond to the surrounding environment. Impact if not having the next reading interest is not knowing the actual information, so that it has difficulty to improve self-quality, and they cannot communicate well because, yeah, you know what I mean. The input they have is not with their surrounding friends, or less knowledge, less experience that make us cannot communicate well. And the last, reluctant to read in this young generation. Young generation very impact to our country. It's the loss of our country, the country that lost the assets, maybe on and contributes in the progress of a nation and high quality or high productivity. So very important based on young generation, and enough from me.
The solution to this problem is that the family is recommended to have the library in their home, so that the library can be used as a pleasant place when gathering with his wife and children. In addition, parents also need to set a reading hour. Each family member, both parents and children, are asked to obey the terms. In the busy time outside the home, parents should set aside time to read books, or simply accompany their children to read books. That way, children will get exemplary example from their parents directly. While at the school level, the low interest in reading children can be overcome by improving the school library. The school, especially the principal, should be more responsible for the condition of the library, which has tended to be a concern. In fact, school libraries are a very important source of learning for students. That way, the problem of low interest in reading will be overcome. Furthermore, local and central governments can also promote mobile library programs or satellite libraries in the regions. While about the placement, the government can coordinate with residents or village community activity centers. The greater the chance for people to read through scattered facilities, it could be greater the stimulation of reading amongst fellow citizens. The bottom line is, to solve the reading crisis, it is necessary to have a habit of reading books from the early age. To realize it, the role of parents is very necessary. Parents need to enforce regulation, at least rules about books reading hours in the house. After the small scope has had a significant influence, support from the surrounding environments is also needed. Social environments such as neighborhood and school must also supporting by providing reading facilities.